Hello, my name is Sarah and this is Emmy. And my birthday is coming up soon. Well, this is a bit early, but you know, it's coming eventually. And I have the perfect fabric for a birthday dress, which is this cake and dessert fabric, which I found at the secondhand craft shop, which is my favorite place ever. And originally I was gonna use this vintage reproduction pattern to make the dress with, but then Annabelle from Annabelle and Ben's Antics asked if I wanted to join the traveling vintage pattern group, and I said yes. So I now have the pattern here. I have watched the other people make this dress, and I have noticed that seam allowances are all over the place, and I definitely need to make a mock-up. You should definitely also watch the playlist of everyone else's videos, so I will link that. Most people have gone for this more full skirt, which is also the one that I'm mostly interested in, but I'm gonna try and put my own spin on it anyways. I got the pattern from Engineering Knits, and she sent a very nice little note and a little bit of fabric and these gorgeous buttons. They don't quite fit the theme of my birthday dress, but definitely gonna use these on something awesome. I followed the instructions. Cannot get my head through the hole. With some minor seam ripping later, I am in the buck-up. It fits fine down here. I may lengthen it. You want the waistband to be your narrowest point, which is like here. Need to add like an inch. I'm gonna have to fix the neckline, which I did expect because Annabelle and some other people had the same problem. So I'm gonna probably make this like this. Maybe lower the back a bit too. I'm starting off by ironing the fabric, and the real irony is that I'm allergic to every single dessert on here. But they look delicious! Ow! Why am I such a klutz? I ask myself that almost every day. I don't want to use pins because this is a very old and beat up pattern. So I grabbed some pattern weights, aka anything within reach. I marked the pattern with a disappearing ink pen. The original paper patterns didn't have marks printed on them, just holes to mark the darts and each pattern piece. This was my first time using a pattern like this, and it was pretty exciting. I added an inch onto the bottom before cutting it out. I used my disappearing ink pen to mark the darts and adjust the neckline because I like breathing. But maybe I'm just picky. I pinned the side darts like regular darts, but these two darts are more like pleats. They end here. I repeated those steps on the back, except that the back darts are not the pleated open darts like the front. Whoops. Forgot the change in neckline. Someone's making her bed. Hello, Emmy. I gracefully stitched up the darts. Ow. Some of the darts were even sewn in the right direction. I pressed the side darts down. I think these are gonna end up being rather pointy 60s boobs. And the open darts open. And I realized I made a mistake. This is supposed to be an actual dart. I should go fix that. A few darts later and we're back in business. Here's where the wacky seam allowances start. Apparently this seam has a 3/4 of an inch seam allowance, but the side seam has a 1 inch seam allowance, because that makes sense somewhere. So this line here is 3/4 of an inch, and this is 1 inch. Shoulder seam, side seam, shoulder seam, side seam. You get the idea. Oh, bobbin chicken win! Oh. I'm really glad that was on camera, because this is all that's left. I was really lucky to find this sleeve pressing board at a secondhand craft shop, because it's very handy. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg, though. Get it? Because it's a sleeve board. Okay, it says, on inside, pin and tack purchase bias binding to neck edge. Stitch on first fold of bias, turn bias to outside, tack flat, edge stitch to position as shown. Glad it's not giving another random seam allowance. I chose my seam allowance to be the width of the bias tape, aka 1/2 inch. I think I'm gonna top stitch with this one. Take the bias tape and flip it over the edge. And I optimistically started stitching little hearts. Okay, well that's not working. Straight stitch it is then. The needle didn't like going through this old bias tape. I finished the shoulders in the same way. Oh no. Well, I forgot to hit record, but I've cut 3 segments of the skirt. I decided to leave this chunk of fabric on because otherwise it's just gonna be wasted, and I like twirling. Checking the instructions. I think it's just implied that you sew the skirt panels together. There's nothing in the instructions about it. I'm just checking to see if there's a seam allowance, which the answer is no. So it seems like I make 3 box pleats, 1 in the center, 2 on the sides, and then I gather the whole skirt. I think it's telling me to stitch 3 inches down here and then turn that into a pleat. My disappearing ink marker has disappeared again, as usual. I just changed my needle and forgot to rethread it. I'm watching the black clouds coming in. It's been raining for a week and a half at this point. Ow. I gather by using my longest stitch length and a high tension. I stitched these between the pleats. See how big this skirt is? So I'm gonna line up this pleat with the center of the bodice. I will still need to adjust the gathers, but the chief of distraction wants attention. You're in the way again. I am working on something. Oh wait, I wonder what the seam allowance on this is. It doesn't say, so 1/2 inch. This is the look I get when Emmy wants a WALK, but she doesn't know that it's pouring outside, and she hates rain. I told you it was raining. It says to finish the seam with seam tape, but I have a serger. Time for the zipper, and I happen to have a pink vintage zipper. I doubt it's the same year, but you know. Emmy, that's my wedding dress you're digging next to. This is my wedding dress, by the way. Some of us are sewing zippers. I always hand-baste invisible zippers in. I find that they still shift under the zipper foot between the pins. This is probably a good time to remind you that Emmy is almost 11. She was an extremely high-energy young dog, so that makes sense. I tried the dress on and wanted the length to be above my knee. But don't worry, this fabric did not go to waste. Just you wait. I did a double fold hem. If you like this dress and want to join in, Annabelle was talking about digitizing the pattern, so go comment that you're interested on her video. Okay, the dress is done. And I really wanted to make the belt, but you need like a belt loop thing, and I don't have one, so I'm gonna have to think about that. Also, it is still raining, so we are gonna have to take a walk in the rain. Sorry, Amy, gonna have to wear your raincoat. But it looks so stylish! Man, I say I'm not much of a pink person, and then I wear outfits like this, and I don't have any good explanation for that. I had a good idea for the belt last night because I still don't have a belt loop thingy. But I do have this elastic. It was supposed to be a waistband for something that I never made. Also, Patrick is jackhammering in the background if you can hear that. He did wait until I was already awake though, so what more can a girl ask for? Little blonde hairs in this. Gee, I wonder where that came from. Also, enjoy this coyote that I ran into a few hours later on the bike path. He was not on a bicycle. If it looks blurry, that's just the digital zoom because I wasn't going to get that close. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and like it and follow along for more of my sewing adventures. Bye everybody! Emmy has cornered a chipmunk. Hey, no digging! I can't help you. Chipmunk has not come out yet.